People have said they don't like my language, but I'm going to say it again. Rents have been shithouse for the last sort of 2 years, haven't they?
They've been absolutely crazy. When you consider probably this time last year or on the first lockdowns, Melbourne specifically lost nearly 30% in rentals, which is huge.
Yep. So I've been crying to everyone in the office, and none of you listen to me, none of you care, but I know that this year has really been very different. I think you guys had some vacancy across the 4,000 odd properties that we managed,
yep.
And that was all gone within the first few weeks. We've just got the traditional changeover now.
Yeah, initially we discussed this before. There were a lot of people who were starting before the borders opened, were actually starting to move back into the city because of the affordability, and that has allowed, and we'll get to the other point as well, where the market's starting to raise without the borders opening.
Yep.
With that opening, and we've seen the last 10 weeks, I'll get to that now, we're going to see, I think we'll see some really good growth.
And so, it's always important that we talk about, and I've mentioned this a few times, I call it year 7 economics, which is the simple demand versus supply.
Yep.
And I guess what a lot of people perhaps don't quite understand is that whilst it was definitely a demand-driven sort of reason why we saw these rentals drop and the vacancy go up so much, it was kind of a forced lack of demand by the changes in policy, the fact the borders were shut, all the lockdowns and so forth.
Yep.
So, what's happening now, fast forward 2 years, what's changed and why are you so positive and why should we be all excited? And you're telling me I should stop getting upset with the property managers now?
You should start relaxing.
Okay. I think it's not going to happen, but yes, I will try.
I think we're going to start seeing, pre-COVID, we were getting some really good returns, 5+% on average. And obviously that dropped quite substantially, but we're starting to see that grow back up. A key factor that people look at in the last 10 weeks is who's looking at renting.
Yep.
And we've seen the last 10 weeks on a national scale, that's increased by 27% of people actively getting on platforms like realestate.com looking to see what's for rent.
So that's really where you're sort of saying that demand has significantly spiked.
Yep.
With
compared to this time last year, nationally, it's up by 27%, 46% in Melbourne. Okay. So this time last year, the amount of people in the last 10 weeks looking for inner city properties to rent increased by 46% in Melbourne. And that's huge. And that allows, that's people, they're looking now for, and we're already pretty full where we are. So that's all going to be good in terms of demand, people wanting to come in and rent property in inner city.
Good. Yeah. All right. Now, what are you doing still sitting here? Go get me more rent on my properties. It should be as easy as that, shouldn't it? I'm sold on what you've just said.
But as you say, it's going to feed through. And I think that's a very good time. We know Lucas will come in and talk about investment, but absolutely, it's a perfect time to see some good growth coming through.
Yeah.